So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. We have ourselves a Wednesday Guardian quick crossword to get into. And today we are having a Les Arômes de France. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon. And this was bottled in 2023. And it is an absolute, I think I described it earlier as a ballet on the nose. It is just a bowl of spring and summer fruits. We've got citrus in here. We've got melon. We've got red fruits. Yes, of course. We've got the cassis, some plum in there. These hints of strawberry and vanilla. The aromatics are just fabulous. This is such happiness on the nose. It feels like you're getting ready to step into something very, very sweet. But then it's dry, it's complex, it's bold, it's well finishing, tannic, but equally acidic, deep red. You're not seeing anything light emitted from this at all. It is not letting anything through. This is a deep red, and if you use as a measure the dendral viscosity, this is strong. So it's a pretty amazing wine. It really is. Les Arômes de France. And I don't know, we're talking about €9 here, so not an expensive one either. But I'll be quite honest with you. In Germany, you can get some very, very, very amazingly delicious wines for not a lot of money. A wine of this caliber in the States would easily run $40, $50 US. So, lucky me. I'll probably have blue teeth before long. I mean, I expect that, but I have an antidote in the bathroom, over the sink that kind of takes care of that for me. But I would say that probably closer to 14% alcohol. You can really taste it on here. Fabulous wine. Fabulous. Okay. All right. Let's hop into our grid and see what we've got going on here with my blue teeth. All right. So let's see. All right. So we've got quick crossword number 17113. Let's hop in here very carefully. We don't want to disturb anything. Okay. Black hornless cattle breed originating in Scotland. Well, I don't know just yet. 8 letters. And I'm not the most familiar with these things either, so you'll have to forgive me. But I'm going to go here. Well, first of all, this tells me with a pH below 7, that tells me we're talking about an acid. And that's not an easy one, because if it were the opposite, it'd be a base. So you're still talking about 4 letters and not much help, right? But because we're talking about Scottish cattle, I'm going to go with Angus. And that may be a fallacy, but I think that's what I think it's an Irish name, Angus. So I don't know. One doing operations in theater. Well, this would be a surgeon, I guess, because, well, that's where you do operations. What we remember on a day in November. Oh, well, I don't know. Guy Fawkes's rebellion, the gunpowder plot. Remember the 5th of November? I'll have to look that up. It's been a long time since I took British history. A long time. We're talking a good, I don't even want to admit how long it's been. Since 1992, maybe. Okay. I wouldn't mind having a Guy Fawkes mask, though. It'd be kind of fun. So what do we got here? One selling Reims. And I think that's a stationer. And we have those in the States too. When I was an advertising exec, we used to have our stationer would come by every week. He'd always bring something, a bottle of wine, bottle of whiskey, something like that. I mean, he'd really rub us up and stuff like that. And he'd show us all the new vellum and the linen weave papers they had, and all the nice stuff. And he talked about card stock and letterhead stock and envelope stock. And he'd tell us, your clients could have a whole new look and feel, right? You know, your design on this stock. And he was from Italy, and he was, hey, this is great. Yeah, you know, it was just wonderful, man. I love being out with the guy. Bob. His Bob. His name was Bob. Yeah, missed him. Anyway, but yeah, we used the same term there. So now we got an N there, so I guess this could be the gunpowder... the gunpowder plot, I think. I don't know. I mean, I think delay, convict, or a convict. Delay would be a lag. But is a convict a lag? Or is it to convict a lag? That's the first order of business I need to get to. That's interesting. Beer served cold, and I'm assuming we're shooting for a lager. Muscle moving your shoulder, clear top anagram. Okay, well, the clear top tells me that, yeah, so that would be the, let's get that P. So I guess we're talking about the pectoral muscle. Well, without the anagram, we would be limited. Maybe latissimus dorsi, the triceps. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of muscles up there, though. I'm telling you. I think we're okay at pectoral, though. Decay. No, I don't know. Maybe perish. I am getting a pretty good feel for the Guardian Quick, though. I'm starting to feel like it's time to maybe step up to the cryptic. But at the same time, I think I'm going to leave it to a vote. I think I'm going to put up a post of some image, you know, the quick versus the cross stick or the cryptic or whatever we call it. And I'm going to let you guys vote on it. And I'll leave it up for a week or two. I'm happy to do the Guardian Quick until then, but I'm just wondering if maybe I'm getting a little bit too familiar, and if we went to something a bit more challenging. Otherwise, I don't know. Okay, so like I've got mimicking on my mind. It's probably why it came out. So like a parrot could be mimicking. But there's other things that it could be too. I think I'd probably be better off if I just left that alone for right now. So a sweet, nutty confection. I don't think a cordial will count for that, but I think a nutty confection that's sweet to the point that when in the past, very rarely I have had them to eat, even before I moved over to a carnivore, ketovore type of diet about 7 or 8 years ago. I'd have a praline on occasion, but it really made my teeth hurt. It was so sweet. So that's where my mind's going. So staple, an anagram of staple, and I'm looking at that right now, and I kind of have a thing for anagrams anyway. Maybe I would have been a good, what's his name in what was that called? The Tom Hanks, Angels and Demons, and the Da Vinci Code. Symbologist or something. I don't know. I mean, maybe that would have been a good thing for me to do somewhere in my life, but I don't know if there's a lot of symbology associated with anagramming or deconstructing anagrammed English words. I don't think that would have been a good thing. So it's the final word. Perhaps we're speaking of prayer, so maybe amen. And let's see here, like a parrot. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. It could be something. But with this I think we're limited, so maybe we're talking about imitative and unchallenging music. It's got 4 and 9, and this looks like listening to me. So I'm going to go with easy listening. That's not where my mind was going with this one at all, though. I thought we were talking about, you know, a simple composition, perhaps, maybe just with whole notes or something, right? You know, no quavers or minims or anything, no slurs to deal with, just a basic treble clef, and off we go. No, 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 no. But you know, again, what do we know? And so, long-haired sporting pooch. Well, I think we've got it spelled out for us. I think we're talking about an English setter. I know nothing about dogs. I've had some beautiful dogs in the past, and I've missed them terribly. Ruger was a short-haired German, a short-haired German pointer, and island east of Java would be Bali. So. And then I had Daisy May, and Daisy May was a beautiful, well, she wasn't a bulldog. I can't remember what she was, but she was a purebred. She was a boxer, yeah. Otherwise, maybe had a Pomeranian once. We've had all these purebred dogs, but they always wind up with kid. You know, the kid took one of them, right? You know, or whatever. It's fine. I mean, I've got a dog now. His name is Indingo, and he is a blue sculpted greyhound, maybe. He stands outside of the flat next to a statue of Betty Boop. It's just right there by our front door, and he's on a little decorative leash. I mean, that's no feeding, no cleanup, no going for walks in the cold. One with a developed appreciation of the finer things. And see, again, we have this T blank E blank E. So now I'm thinking this is an aesthete. But what variation of spelling of that do the English practice? That's what I need to know. What do you write for that in the UK? Blunt or make quiet could be to deaden. That's actually a fantastic definition, really, if you think about that. Total snooze fest could be a bore. Yeah, and I'll put up a vote for you guys to take a look at. You'll see it in the community thread, but you should see it in your feed if you're subscribed, and whether we should move up to the acrostic or cryptic or whatever it's called. I tried one time, and it was like, ooh. So I would just think that once you guys have voted, I could be maybe spending a week or two getting used to the format there, doing the dailies that way. And I know they do one of them on Sundays, so that would give us two. That would give you a grid on a Sunday as well. But I don't know. It's up to you. I'll give the vote to you again. On Cloud 9 could be elated. And it could just be that I've just had a very easy week so far. And Lord knows, I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4... 5. I got 5 things to figure out here, and it could be very difficult, as it has been in the past. So I'm not trying to jump the gun. I'm just saying, in some ways, they've gotten a bit familiar, and I'm liking that. But up to you. So Smithereens 5, and I don't know what you're looking for, but by definition, we'd be talking atoms, right? So if you're blown to smithereens, you've been reduced to atomic particles, right? On the payroll could be salaried. Probably want to finish that. And rat, runaway, renegade. And I guess we're talking about a deserter. I hope y'all enjoyed the What Are We Watching This Week segment. I put that out on Sunday, and was talking about the rogue heroes, the formation of the SAS in World War II. It's a great series, and there's 2 seasons out now. I'm sure there's a 3rd coming, and some fantastic actors. If you haven't checked that out, it's on the channel. It's just what are we watching this week? We're going to be doing those on Sundays, I think. If not every other Sunday, we'll do it every Sunday. But now I got to deal with this. I'm going to put this off just a second. Special Ops. I'll go with Special Ops. Speaking of SAS. And now back to these black hornless cattle breed originating in Scotland. And all I can think is maybe it's an Aberdeen. I have never heard of an Aberdeen Angus for one. But that's what I think I'm seeing spelled out in front of me. I also know it's a Scots word. And I know that we in the United States Army had the Aberdeen Proving Grounds. So, Adams, Easney, listening, pastel, let's see, imitative, show, acid, aesthete, gunpowder, plot, lager. I don't know why we can't just outlaw spam calls in the United States. I never get them on my German number. Anyway, I think aesthete is the one thing that I'm not too sure of. Everything else kind of filled itself in, but let's take a look and see how I did. I sure would like a three-peat though, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to hold this up here for good luck. Here we go. Check all. Just making sure. Giving the setter more opportunities to fail me. And I think I did it. I think it's three-peat time. I am so tickled to death about this. This is a first. But it's also perhaps proof that I need to be moving up to the next level. But I don't want to take away the learning that I do get out of this. For example, I learned today about Aberdeen Angus and English setters. Never heard of them really before. I might have heard of an English setter, but it didn't come to mind. I would have never been able to guess it. But otherwise, yeah, everything else was, as you would expect. I think surgeon was a clever... I think that was a clever clue answer combination, because I think a lot of people don't realize that when you're doing surgery, you're performing in a theater. And it goes back to the history of it. You would do surgery in front of a theater of other doctors, other surgeons, I should say, physicians. There's a lot of doctors out there. I'm a doctor, for crying out loud. I'm just a doctor of humane letters. I have no business holding a scalpel in my hand, right? I'm just saying. So I'd rather use the term, provider, maybe a physician or a surgeon, something like that, But nevertheless, this was a really fabulous grid. So well done to the setters. Congratulations. We're getting our bunny ear down too. And I just want to say, if you don't mind, if you would like to support the channel, consider becoming a super solver in our paid community, so we can do some face-to-face time and with our group and, chat, on a monthly basis. Maybe it's bi-monthly. It's up to you. I mean, you control the community. I'm just here to try to maybe MC this a bit. Otherwise, there's always that. And all new members will be getting gifts in the mail. We do have a merch shop coming up pretty soon. I was saying to New York Times Crossword, can you imagine having a t-shirt that said Shakespeare Majors Unite? Or how about just the wind down logo with, so how do we do, Bob? Kind of a thing. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. We could take some votes on what we want out there. I was thinking it'd be really nice to have a set of matching wine glasses, that say, I wind down, with Christopher, the New York Times Crossword, right? Just to show some ownership. But nevertheless, it's your community. Let me know what you want to do. Until we see you tomorrow, be well, be safe, be happy. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Abend noch. Be good to the person behind you in line. And we'll see you on the morrow for the Thursday Guardian. Be well.